All right. I think we're live, everybody. Can you hear me okay? You can see me okay? How are we doing? You may notice that the quality has dropped than it normally is. It's because I'm now doing this on my laptop, so it might be a little gritty. Can anybody see me? Okay. Great. Great. Hello, everybody. Yeah, so this is the second time I'm trying to do this stream. The first time I was running it off my camera through an app, or not an app, a program called SparkoCam, and basically it lets you take a photography camera and put it into your computer and let you use it as a webcam, and it's always worked, and it gives you really good quality. But yeah, today, every time I started it, it would work for like 3 seconds and then completely just crap out on me. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. If you joined the other stream and then saw it suddenly end, I think everyone got like a shot like this, but that was about it. You got like a freeze frame of my torso. This stream will have more than that, I think. Oh, and yeah, if I see a super chat come through, I'll pause what I'm doing to thank you, just because I'm gonna be kind of running a little bit on my own here. Ricky Donna just said sending 2 sweets from Jacksonville, Florida. Well, thank you so much, Ricky. Really appreciate that. And yeah, guys, I'm excited to be streaming again. It's been a while. It's been about 3 months since my last one, and I don't know if anyone's actually noticed, but over the past few months, there's been like different sort of content. You may have noticed a few suspicious things happening here and there. One, I went down from 3 videos a week to 2. And some videos you may notice I'm in a different environment than usual. Instead of being on my sexy couch, I'm in like a weird white room that's kind of boring looking. Yeah, that's because I was not home. For the past few months, I've been in New Orleans, of all places. And so I'll tell you like a little bit of like how that went down, why I was there, and stuff like that. Basically, I'm gonna move you a little bit, so get comfortable here. Yeah, so basically, I maybe like over a year ago, I got contacted by like a couple that was going to have a wedding in Texas. This was like pre-pandemic, like long ago, like probably like a year and a half ago. Because if you book for a wedding, if anyone here has gotten married, you got to do that far in advance. So if you don't know, I'm an entertainer, so I do like contortion and circus stunts and stuff like that. And every now and then, some weird couple will want to have me at like this momentous occasion in their lives. So yeah, this was like a goth couple. So there was like goth themed, and they wanted like weird sideshow stuff going on. So they hired me to do my weird circus show for them. But they did that a long time ago. And then when the pandemic came around, it seemed like I was going to have to cancel. You know, travel didn't seem to be like a safe thing to do, and have not been doing a whole lot of my performing, because finding situations that are following the proper guidelines and everything, or it just gets really complicated. And so because of that, I was going to cancel out on this wedding, but then I instead decided to kind of do things a little bit differently. Their wedding was following all the guidelines. It was like outside and everything, so it wouldn't be like an issue with. It wasn't. They weren't doing anything illegal or anything. It was like a proper following the proper COVID guidelines and all that. But traveling was the issue. But this was going on just a few months ago, and reports were saying that in New York it was going to be uh, there's going to be a spike. Like I'm in New York City here, and it's very, very densely populated. So when the pandemic happened, it hit us here first, and it was bad. It was really, really bad. Like constant ambulances and helicopters and stuff like that. Like we got kind of caught with our pants down here in New York City. So when they were warning there might be a spike, I was like, this might be a good time to get out of the city because if there's going to be a spike because of the holidays and because of people going inside because it's cold and everything, New York City was probably not going to be the safest place to be. So a lot of people started going to warmer areas. And I was like, I've got a gig in Texas. Maybe it's actually safer in this sort of instance to actually get on a plane. So yeah, I tried to keep everything as safely as I could, and I went down to Texas to do this event, and I worked this out as kind of an excuse to stay down south. So I went down for this event. I had already a plane ticket to go down, and instead of going back home, I just stayed south. So I went down to New Orleans after that, and oddly, you'd think New Orleans would be a densely populated place because so many tourists go there, but it was dead. It was bizarrely empty. Like I would walk down the streets for like an hour without passing anybody. It was actually kind of eerie. Um, in the French Quarter, where all the tourists go, like Bourbon Street and all the jazz clubs, Frenchman Street, and all that, there are people there, but the surrounding areas were just a ghost town. So it ended up being really nice. It ended up being actually, I think, the right decision. A lot of people in New York City ended up getting ill because of the holidays, and New Orleans, the cases were going down. So it ended up being, I think, the right move. And the other plus side to that is that I got to be somewhere where I could find some weird fruit, you know? So I wasn't able to go on any big international trips this year because of the pandemic, but I was able to go somewhere where there are some odd fruits around. So, and some pretty interesting things too. I found a few interesting things in this in Louisiana. Because one, it's like warm there. It's like I don't know if it's subtropical or something. It's pretty warm, but things grow in Louisiana that don't grow in other places. One thing that I really wanted to do was to do a tour of a pecan farm because there's a few pecan farms there, and the place I was that ended up not working out because, well, one, the around the same time that I was looking there, Smarter Every Day did a pecan episode like really well. So I was like, well, I can't really compete with that kind of production value. Maybe it's probably better to kind of save that for another time. And also, the pecan farm, the big one there, ended up getting hit by a hurricane a few months ago. So yeah, they were going through some stuff, and they're still running and everything, but they're like, yeah, it's not. You don't want to be on a tour now. It's going to be kind of sad. So I think I probably will end up doing a tour of a pecan farm in the future, but yeah, not that trip. But I did find some other things. I'll tell you a little bit about what I found in a second. I want to like see some of the comments scrolling by here. We have Andrea moderating. Thank you, Andrea, for doing that. I might need another moderator also because I think Andrea is going to class soon. So if someone else wants to help, just give me a sign there. I might nominate somebody if they. We got other Andreas taking those. Thank you. Well, thank you also, Andrea Odessa. But I was pointing that at Andrea Ariza. Okay. Just checking everything there. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Why don't we? I'm gonna make a young entomologist. You have been chosen. I now bestow you with the moderating powers. Thank you very much. If anybody misbehaves, you can give them a timeout. Thank you so much. And yeah, so thank you. Don't knock people out if they're behaving, please. But if you see anybody causing trouble, you know what to do. So yeah, thank you for moderating. Um, okay, so yeah, I wanted to say a little bit more about my New Orleans trip, and then I've got other things going on. I've got some things from the mystery cupboard here that were sent to me a while ago, and yeah, the thing about New Orleans that I found that was really interesting is like New Orleans is it's such a weird place because so many different communities are there. Um, oh, Aiden, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. And goodbye, Andrea. Thank you for helping. Okay. Yeah, there's so many different communities in New Orleans. Like you have the Acadians who came there originally from Canada. You have people who've come over there from Africa as slaves long ago. There's a lot of there's Spanish culture there. There's a lot of interesting communities there, and I kind of had an interesting time just like learning about those cultures through the food, and you see that there. The cuisine in New Orleans is amazing. There's such like an incredible combination of different flavors that are used there, and that also extends into fruit. You know, if you go around to the markets, you see things at the markets that are uniquely New Orleans or uniquely Louisiana. For one, that I'm going to go into in an upcoming episode is the Satsuma. Satsumas are a type of mandarin that are unique to the area, and it is like amazing. As soon choking on my own tongue here. As soon as the Satsuma season happens, S is there. They just start popping up at all the supermarkets, and people go nuts. They like go out and they just like buy big bags of the things, and then it vanishes like immediately. So I ended up being there during this little period of time where Satsumas were around, and I actually kind of had a weird thing happen because it when I arrived, Satsumas were not there, and then come December, they were like everywhere. And then by the end of December, they completely vanished. So I was kind of taking for granted the fact that Satsumas were around. I figured they'd be around for a while. And then when I actually got down to do the episode on the Satsuma, I couldn't find them. So I had a problem. They disappeared from supermarkets like entirely. So I was like, well, that's a problem. I scripted out an episode and got all this preparation done for it. I got a bunch of B-roll and like all this stuff, and then yeah, it ended up being kind of an issue. So I was like on like full like detective mode, like going around to all these markets trying to find some like late season Satsumas, and thankfully I found some. I found some at like a weird shop. It was like a furniture store or something. They were selling like art pieces and furniture and plants and stuff like that. And they just happened to have bags of Satsumas for sale for some reason. It wasn't even like a produce shop, but I ended up getting them late season at this like weird place. But it ended up happening. So there's going to be a pretty big episode on Satsumas. Another thing I found there was there's a huge Vietnamese community in New Orleans, which is kind of not what people think about when they think of the different cultures there. And how that happened is that after the Vietnam War, people that had to escape the Vietnam ended up being transported to different areas around the world. A few different places in the United States have large Vietnamese communities because of that, and one of them is New Orleans. But what's interesting is a lot of the people who came here from Vietnam, and this is, I believe, 1975 is when they came. They brought seeds with them. So if you go to this community, if you walk down the streets, you'll see in people's yards like all these bizarre like plants growing, and they are Vietnamese fruits. They're fruits from Southeast Asia and vegetables from Southeast Asia that people grow in their yard. And once a week, early in the morning, on Saturday mornings between 5:30 and 8 a.m., people who are growing these things in their gardens, they gather in one of the parking lots outside of a supermarket and they sell them. So I went a couple of times, and it's like legit like bend over market, like where people like lay out a blanket and put out all the stuff on the ground. And these are people who they don't speak English, a lot of them, and they're holding on to the traditions that they had when they were in Vietnam in 1975. So it's a lot of like elderly people, but they'll have like the rice hats on and everything. It it felt like I was traveling. It was kind of a magical moment being there. So I ended up having a really good experience in New Orleans, and that was kind of a surprising part of it. So look out for that. It's probably not going to be this month, but maybe next month or the month after. I'm going to put out a series of videos from New Orleans. I unfortunately didn't find like a ton of stuff, but there's probably like 5 or 6 episodes on different fruits, and I filmed some other types of videos as well that aren't fruit related, like junk food videos and stuff like that. So that should be coming out in the near future, and that'll be a fun one, I think. All right, so I'm going to take a moment to look at some of the comments streaming by. If anyone has any questions, let me know, and then we'll move on to some of these snacks, I think, next. Anybody got a question? Pasta Sam asks if I'll ever do a video on the muscadine. I think I did. I think I have a grape comparison video where muscadines are in there. All right, next. These are going by fast, so mind that I'm just kind of like staring at the screen now. I'm reading questions here. Jess Hall asks about fresh pistachios. There is an episode on that. Natty asked if there's any fruit that looks wild but ended up being underwhelming. There's a few of those. There's definitely a few of those. One of the ones that people mention a lot to me is the dragon fruit. Dragon fruits, they look really cool. They're like this shaped, whatever, like a tiny football. I don't know what kind of shape that is. So it's like this big, and they're spiky and pink, and then you like break them open. It's like white inside with like little black seeds in it. Looks really neat, but the flavor is like incredibly mild. But I actually like those. They're a little. I was very underwhelmed the first time I had it because it looked so crazy. You expect it to taste like, I don't know, like something real bizarre, but instead it ended up being just kind of like a mild kiwi kind of flavor. But now that although I was underwhelmed the first time, now that I've had them quite a lot, I like them. I like them quite a bit. But what I do is I take a dragon fruit and I'll put a squeeze of lime on it just to bring out some of that pop, because there's a good flavor in there, but it's so mild that needs like a little sour element to bring it out. So yeah, that's one that underwhelmed me quite a bit. And black sapote is another one. My expectations were that, for those that don't know, it's like it's a persimmon relative, but it's green, and you wait until it gets like super, super, super mushy, where it looks like it's rotted. And when you cut it open, it's like motor oil inside. It's like so dark, but it looks kind of like chocolate, and it has the nickname chocolate pudding fruit because it looks like chocolate pudding when you cut it open. And that thing, it tastes like nothing. It's just mild, sweet flavor. People swear that it tastes like chocolate, but I've eaten it like a million times. It does not taste like chocolate. Not any of the varieties I've had, and I've had it like in many different countries, and many different times, different cultivars, and always it just tastes like sweet mush. It's fine, but underwhelming if you're expecting it to taste like chocolate. All right, so I'm going to take a break to review some of these things that I have here. So I took out a few things from the mystery cupboard, mostly because the expiration date is upon us. So I've got 3 things that were actually sent to me by a viewer, Travis, a while ago. And he sent me a big box of stuff from the shop H Mart, which is like a Korean supermarket. So I think a lot of these are Korean products, maybe not all of them. Latte is this company here. I don't think that's Korean. That's I want to say it's Japanese. I don't know. But yeah, I've got 3 products here. I'm not sure if I'll get through all of them. We've got this one here is where's my camera? This is herbal jelly. Is that coming in backwards? It is, isn't it? Yeah, we got herbal jelly. It's got passion fruit in it, but it's herbal. So we'll start with that. That'll be a fun adventure. And then I've got like some little biscuits and stuff. Also, this is great because I am out of water. Or I've got a little bit left. Okay, so we open it up. And yeah, if anybody out there, is that Korean? I think that might be Chinese. But if anyone out there can read that and wants to translate, feel free to put it down in the comments there. Oh, and Huang is saying latte is Korean. Okay, so that does make sense why this would be at a Korean supermarket. I mean, they tend to have things from other countries as well, but it's like predominantly Korean stuff. Oh, this is full of like little things. Okay, we've got a little thing of passion fruit. It seems to be like a syrup of some kind. We've got this. I'm not sure what that is. That maybe is might be goji berry, maybe. We'll see. Or maybe it's it might be red bean also. They look like some sort of small red fruit or grain or something. All right, so that's in there. And this one is mysterious. You can't see through it. This is what people like on YouTube, right? This is good content. People like when you unbox stuff. So I'm unboxing a beverage. We got a nice little straw. That's great. What is this? Oh, this is a little milk thing. A little creamer. Okay. And then we've got this. This must be the main liquid portion. And we got the cup. Okay, so let's do this together. I'm gonna open this guy up. It smells herbal, like an herbal tea. I'm gonna pour this off screen so I don't like pour it on my keyboard. Oh yeah, that is herbal jelly for sure. This is like grass jelly, I think. It's can't really show. Oh, there you go. You see, it's like black. It smells herbal. I honestly have not had grass jelly in a very long time, so I'm not sure if that's what that is. It's been a while. And next we'll put some of this passion fruit stuff in there. Okay. Do a little science experiment. Okay, there we go. All right. Everybody's behaving over there. Where's my moderator? Where'd you go? Jess, do you want to be a moderator also? I see you there. We can, no, now it goes in whatever this one is. I have no idea what this is. It's just a liquid. Oh, no, there's a surprise. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's like little red beans. There we go. That's what we need. Okay. Next, I guess like if you wanted this to be vegan, you can make it vegan, but I'm gonna put the A little creamer in there. This is like a solid. This is, I think, condensed milk of some kind. Doesn't really. It's condensed milk, but it's not sweet. It's like it's like cream, like a very, very thick cream. All right, so this is gonna go in there also. I don't imagine this is gonna really dissolve that well. It's like, yeah, look at that. It's got the texture of toothpaste. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna actually dissolve super well, but it is what it is. I might just be like drinking this and get like a clump of cream as I'm doing it. All right, so we did that. It's clogged with cream now. That's an odd thing. I'm on board except for the cream thing. Like, that just seems a little odd. Okay. It's sour cream, somebody's saying? Ew. I hope not. It kind of tastes like it, though. Okay, young entomologist is still there. There you are. All right, let's see what this is like. It's surprisingly not sweet. Like a little bit. That's all right. It's very mild. It tastes like a mild black tea with a little bit of a fruit taste to it. I wouldn't say it tastes like passion fruit. It's just kind of like generic fruit flavor, like a mild fruity taste. It might be artificial. I'm not sure, but that little milk taste is kind of odd there. But it's all right. This is okay. I've had so many drinks that look like this that are just like pure sugar. Like, you take a sip of it and it's like just you're drinking concentrated like cola, like so sweet. This isn't. This is like fairly mild. So I like that. Somebody said, Scream just said it's Malk. It might be Malk. You know, there's actually a product called Malk. Yeah, there's one of the upcoming episodes I'm doing on the fake milk series. There's a oat milk brand called Malk, and yeah, it's not. I like oat milk a lot, like Oatly and like all those brands out there. I've liked them all except the Malk. The Malk is not. It's not very good. It's unfortunate that ended up being the one that made it into one of my milk face-off episodes. For those that haven't seen that series, I've been comparing different milk alternatives, like plant-based milks, and trying to find the best one, doing like a little tournament with them. And yeah, for oat milk, I ended up picking up Malk just because I thought the name was funny. It's not my favorite. It's like all right, but out of all the oat milks I've had, it's probably pretty low on my list. And I had a few people asking about the fake milk face-off. For those that haven't seen them, it's been going on for a while, but that has been interrupted by me going to New Orleans for 3 months. So because of that, or it was 2 months, but on either end, it's been probably closer to 3 months since the last fake milk face-off. Those are coming back. I'm going to go on to the next level of the tournament and find a winner. I might come back with another season too at some point, but it's fun, but it takes a lot of time. And if anyone hasn't seen it, the thing about these is that every episode I start it and finish it with an elaborate movie homage where I have the milks actually battle each other using a variety of budget effects, practical effects. I recreate scenes. So I've done Psycho. I've done the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I've done Alien and Labyrinth. I've done like a few of just kind of like famous face-off sort of scenes. And what's great, what I'm really happy to say is that one of the milk companies, Elmhurst Milk, I think originally they were Elmhurst Dairy. They were like a company that made dairy, but then they went vegan and they started producing plant-based milks. And they ended up being like consistently like winning a lot of these little face-offs I was doing. They were just like a decent product. And they ended up reaching out to me, which and they were interested in maybe collaborating with me in some sort of way. I don't think they want to be a sponsor, but they're just like, if there's anything you need to make your videos, just let us know. Just reach out to us. We're here. We like what you're doing, which was great. I mean, I've been pretty brutal to some of the companies that I've put on that. I mean, like some of those fake milks are awful, like inedibly terrible, but they ended up being like one of the good ones. But it just it makes me so happy to just imagine this company watching my weird little videos where I am taking their milk and recreating the face hugger scene from Alien with it. It makes me so happy just just to imagine that like people from a major company just sitting down being like, huh, all right, well, don't know how to feel about this, but I guess he likes our product. Because these videos are pretty out there. They're pretty out there. So I'm very happy that they've seen it and they support it. I actually reached out to see if they wanted to sponsor in the future, which I don't think is going to happen. But it wouldn't be biased just because I've already shot all the actual tournament, not all the actual like taste testing. So anything that I have to film for it are just like these kind of elaborate movie homages. So yeah, so that's the thing that happened over the past couple months also. All right, so I'm going to take a moment to look at some of the questions here. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. Somebody's asking where my cat is. I saw her around. She was under the couch a while ago. Yeah, she's been hiding in my bed. I've got one of those Murphy beds. Oh, Joe B, thank you very much. Joe B said, thank you for the coffee video. Anytime. There's gonna be a few more coffee sort of videos in the future too. I'm sure of it. Yeah, I've got a Murphy bed. So if you've I've got a video online where I show like a little tour of my apartment. But basically, a Murphy bed is a bed that when you're done with it, you can like put it into the wall, into a cabinet, to give yourself a little bit extra room. I love the thing, but Vostok, my cat, likes to hide in the cabinet, which bothers me. Like, so there's like the mattress here, and then there's the little cabinet, and the mattress goes up like that into the cabinet. So she likes to go inside the cabinet, like right at the bottom on the where the floor is. There's like a little nook there, and she goes in there, and it terrifies me because I know that if I close that mattress, she's gonna get stuck in there. And it's actually happened once before. I'm like worried that she's gonna get hurt, but I don't think it'll like get her in the mechanics